Friends, welcome back. Today we are going to discuss one more concept from sexual reproduction in angiosperm. The concept is gynoecium. Gynoecium represents the female component of a flower or female reproductive part of a flower. The unit of gynoecium is called carpel. Each carpel represents megasporophyll. A carpel has three parts. They are stigma, style, and ovary. See this photograph. So it is a unit of gynoecium, that is carpel. It has three parts: stigma, and it connects to the ovary through a tube-like structure called style, and swollen region, it is called as ovary, and it is present on the swollen part of pedicel called thalamus. Stigma. Stigma is the terminal receptive part of the pistil or gynoecium. Stigma functions as a landing platform for the pollen grains. Stigma also determines the compatibility and incompatibility of the pollen grains. Let's see the photograph. So, this terminal part of the carpel or pistil is stigma, and it acts as a landing platform. That means the dispersed pollen grains from anther or fallen onto the stigma or a landing on the stigma, and this stigma determines whether the pollen grains are suitable, compatible, or not suitable, incompatible. That is determined by this stigma. Style. It is elongated narrow stalk that connects the ovary with the stigma. See this picture. So stigma, it is a terminal portion of this carpel is called as stigma. It connects to the ovary through a tube-like structure called as style. Variations in style. First variation, style terminal. The style goes up in a straight line with the ovary. This style terminal we can see in hibiscus or China rose. Second variation, style lateral. The tip of the ovary is bent on one side, and so the style arises from the side of the ovary. This condition we can see in mango. Third variation, style gynobasic. The style is attached to the base of the ovary. Such condition is called as style gynobasic. Ovary. Ovary is the basal swollen part of the pistil. It has an ovarian cavity with one or more chambers called locules. Locules contains the ovules. Each ovule encloses an embryo sac. Ovules attach to wall of ovary through parenchymatous cushions called placenta. Ovules are the future seeds. Let's see the picture. So the basal swollen part of this carpel is called as ovary, and inside the cavity is called as ovarian cavity with, in this photograph, only one chamber is present. It is a locule. The chamber is called as locule, and locules contain ovule. So here the ovule is present in a locule, and this ovule is attached to the parenchymatous cushions. That region is called as placenta, and the ovule encloses the embryo sac. This region is embryo sac, and after fertilization the ovule is converts into seed, hence it is considered as future seed. Variations in ovary based on position. Ovary superior. The ovary occupies the highest position. Ovary superior occurs in hypogynous flowers where the thalamus is convex and other whorls arise below the ovary. This ovary superior we can observe in hibiscus flower. Let's see the picture. So it is a feature of hypogynous flower. In this, ovary is present on the top of this thalamus. This region is thalamus, and all the remaining whorls, that is calyx, corolla, stamens, or arises below the ovary. This condition is called as ovary superior, and such flowers are called as hypogynous flowers. Ovary half inferior. This condition exists in perigynous flowers where thalamus forms a shallow cup-shaped structure around the ovary. Ovary is at the center and other whorls are arranged at the rim of the thalamus. This condition we can found in rose flowers. Let's see the pictures. So both diagrams are the represents perigynous flower. If you are observed here, the half of the ovary is present inside the thalamus in the both the diagrams. Half of the ovary is present inside the thalamus. On the margin of this thalamus, the remaining whorls, that is calyx, corolla, and stamen, are present on this margin of the thalamus or maybe rim of the thalamus. This condition is called as ovary half inferior. Half of the ovary is merged into the thalamus, remaining half is present above the thalamus, hence it is considered as ovary half inferior. Ovary inferior. This condition exists in the epigynous flowers where ovary is entirely enclosed by thalamus. Let's see the photograph. So it is epigynous flower. In this, the ovary entirely merged into the thalamus, and remaining all the whorl parts, that is calyx, corolla, and stamen, arises above the ovary. This condition is called as ovary inferior. This condition we can observe in sunflower. Variation in ovary based on locules, that is chambers present in ovarian cavity. Locules refers the chambers of ovary. According to the number of locules present, ovary is said to be unilocular. That means it consists only one chamber. Example, mustard. Bilocular, the ovary consists two locules. Example, solanum. Trilocular, the ovary consists three chambers. Example, lily. Tetralocular, ovary consists of four locules or chambers. Example, turnip. Pentalocular, The ovary consists of 5 chambers or locules. Example, China rose or hibiscus. Placentation in ovary. What is meant by placentation? The arrangement of placentae in the ovary is called placentation. It is of many types. They are marginal placentation, axial placentation, parietal placentation, basal placentation, central placentation, superficial placentation. Let's see each one. Marginal placentation. It is common type of placentation in simple or monocarpellary ovary. Monocarpellary, mono means single, carpel means single, one stigma, one style and one ovary. The placenta consisting the ovules develops along the junction where two margins of the carpel fuse. It exists in unilocular ovary and it is present in grams, that is black gram, green gram, moong, pea, sun hemp, etc. Let's see the photograph. The photograph of marginal placentation. So here the ovules are developed at the junction of the two margins of carpel is fused. So at this margin two carpels are fused. At that region the ovules are developed. So hence this arrangement is called as marginal placentation. Axial placentation. The placentae consisting the ovules develop from the central axis corresponding to the margins of the carpels. Ovary may be two or many chambered. Example, lemon, hibiscus, etc. Let's see the photograph. So in this ovary is trilocular and each locule having one ovule. The ovule arises from the axis, central axis. Each ovule arises from the central axis. This condition is called as axial placentation. Parietal placentation. The placentae consisting the ovules develop on the inner wall of the ovary. Ovary is one chambered or unilocular. Example, mustard. Let's see the photograph. So here it is unilocular, the entire ovary having only one chamber. In this three ovules are arises from the inner wall of this. This is the inner wall. From this inner wall, the ovules are arises towards the inside. This condition is called as parietal placentation. Basal placentation. The placentae consisting the ovule develops at the base of the ovary. So it is also a unilocular. Example, sunflower. So the entire ovary having only one locule and the ovule arises from the base of the ovary. Central placentation. The ovules are born on a central placenta. Ovary is one chambered due to breakdown of septa or partition walls of the carpels. Examples, stellaria. See the photograph. So it is a ovary consisting central placentation. So here when we discuss about axial placentation, the ovule is arises from the axis, but here there is no axis formation. So there are many carpels are present. That partition walls between the carpels are broken down. As a result, all the ovules are appeared like a center. Hence, it is considered as central placentation. Superficial placentation. The ovary is many chambered with numerous carpels, many chambered, multilocular, more than 5 locules or chambers. The placentae consisting the ovules develop all along the inner surface of partition wall. So here it is clear ovary is many chambered with numerous carpels, and these numerous carpels are separated by partition walls. So this superficial placentation occurs in water lily. Let's see the photograph. So it has numerous chambers or many chambers with numerous carpels. All these carpels are having a partition walls. They are called as septae, and the ovules are developed along the inner surface of this partition wall. Such condition is called as superficial placentation. Thank you. We will meet again in the next part.